Good day, Mom. Good day, classmates. Our topic for today is all about artists and artisan, the production process, medium, and technique. Our lesson objective is to determine what are the difference between artists and artisans. What are the parts of production process? What is medium and technique? Before we begin, think about this. What is artist and artisan? The word artist and artisan are often very confusing for most people, although there is a key difference between the two words. An artist is a person who performs any of the creative arts. This can range from painting to music. An artisan is a skilled worker who makes things by hand. The more definition of the two words can be rather confusing because both involves the creation of something. The key difference is that where the product or output of an artisan has a clear functional value. This may not be the case for an artist. The output can be an expression of the beauty of an art itself without having any functional value. Through this article, let us examine the differences between an artist and an artisan. So who is an artist? An artist is a person who performs any of the creative arts. This captures all forms of art. For an example, a person who paints can be referred to as an artist. The term artist is also used for musicians as well. This is why people often tend to hear the words young artist through media to refer to emerging musicians. Here it is important to highlight that the term artist is not only attributed for those who create art as an occupation, but also for those who are skilled in a particular activity, such as drawing, designing, composing, etc. The specialty of an artist is that he or she is able to create for the sake of art itself without feeding any ulterior motives. Some artists create their works of art for the satisfaction of the society in which they live. They have to confine to the societal demands and limitations. However, there is also others who go beyond the social restriction and create art for the pleasure of creating. It believes that through art, the artist can create a change in society. This is because art appeals to all senses of the people. Here are some examples of artist artwork. Who is an artisan? An artisan is a skilled worker who makes things by hand. This includes various objects ranging from jewelry to furniture. An artisan should not be confused with an artist because there is a clear difference in the things that they create. An artisan is able to produce something that has a functional value, although it should not be limited to its use value alone. However, it must be stressed that there are cases where the objects created by an artisan has only decorative value. Most artisans have the skill of adding aesthetic value to the object that they create. This transcends the object from, from a mere object of utility. This is why most handmade objects are much more expensive than mass-produced objects. So here are some examples of artisan artwork.
Next is production process. The process of creating an artwork does not necessarily follow a linear progression. One thing that one must accept is the fact that the arts have anarchic dimensions to it, allowing it to fully harness its creative potential, the very reason why different art styles, periods, and movements were made possible is because there was a form of flexibility given to an artist in terms of how to conceptualize and execute their ideas into reality. But this does not mean there is no guiding principle that governs the general process of art production. Three parts of production: film production process, pre-production, production, and post-production. Pre-production is a process of fixing some of elements involved in a film, play, or other performance. Post-production is a part of filmmaking, video production, and photography. It occurs in the process predominantly after the filming but can be done in the process of while filming. It normally occurs on site for photo shoots as they color correct to make certain aspects of the object or person to pop out and to make sure that only the object or person is where your eye lands first. Post-production consists of color correction. It is a step which has a huge effect on the visual side of any production. It can make your short films or images go from not too shabby to cinema quality. That's how much of an impact it has on a film production and image manipulation. Sound balancing is a process of creating a soundtrack for a video. In silent films, it's essential as it tells the story of what's happening. It puts some emotion into the film. For films in general, it means balancing sound to make everything fit with the scene. Effects, audio. Sound editing is a key aspect of the film as it adds some additional feel to the film. Visual aid editing. As stated above, short films don't have much visual effects besides color grading, but it depends on the type of film. Diegetic sound. It is primarily generated by the objects and mainly anything we see in the frame or image, the sound, came from within the word of the narrative. Non-diegetic sounds generated generated outside the frame.
Medium and technique. Medium is one of the aspects of art that directly relates with its composition and visual finality of the artwork. Medium is the mode of expression in which the concept, idea, or message is conveyed. It may be concrete or tangible, such as paintings, sculptures, monuments, and structures. Or it may be ephemeral or something transient, such as a track, recording of sound, a film, or a performance. The appreciation or engagement with the artwork is also affected by the medium spatio-temporally. For concrete works, the objects physically manifest themselves for a prolonged or lasting period. For ethereal works, on the other hand, it is durational. A chosen medium must not be expected to yield the same result. Giving two different artists the same exact material and general qualifier of painting, the end product will still vary minimally or in exponential scale. This is where technique comes in, as it is the reason why art history is described by a seemingly limitless example of work of art. The technique of the artwork showed the level of familiarity with the medium being manipulated. So the following are the mediums of visual arts in 2D. So watercolor. It is a simple coloring medium which has less luminous effect when applied but easy to use. Always medyo tumagamit well na naman since kuan pa ta, kanang mga bata pa ta. So here are some example of watercolor artworks. So fresco. Fresco painting is used exclusively on plaster walls and ceiling. The medium of fresco has been used for thousands of years, but it most associated with it is used in Christian image during the Renaissance period in Europe. So makita po ninyo to na naano siya sa mga church sa Catholic, Roman Catholic na mga icon design sa sa ceiling or sa mga walls. So here's some example of fresco painting artwork. Pastel and chalk. These are dry pigments held together by a gum binder and compressed into stick. So here's some example and chalk artworks.